Hello viewers, welcome to this video lecture series on analysis and design of algorithms. Today's topic of discussion is on a sorting algorithm. The name of the algorithm is merge sort. For this algorithm, I have written the pseudocode here. Before explaining the pseudocode, I shall first tell you the approach which is used here in order to carry out the sorting. Approach that is used here is the divide and conquer approach. So what is divide and conquer approach? Divide and conquer, whatever is your problem, you divide that into sub problems. So basically this divide and conquer approach makes use of this particular logic. First, given is what? A problem. Okay, you are having some problem, you are going to divide it into sub problems. So here I am just showing you it is divided into two sub problems. One is sub problem 1. Here I can take the size of the sub problem is n by 2. See, if the original problem is n, then the sub problem will be n by 2. Similarly, here sub problem 2 will be what? The size of this sub problem 2 will be n by 2. You are dividing what? The problem into two sub problems. So here you have sub problem 1 n by 2 size, sub problem 2 n by 2. Then you are finding what? The solution for this. So solution to the sub problem 1. Then you are having the solution to the sub problem 2. You're combining the solutions to get what? The solution to the original problem. Sub problem 1 can be further divided into two more sub problems, wherein the size will be what? N by 4 and n by 4. Then once again this sub problem of size n by 4 can be further divided into two sub problems of size n by 8 and n by 8. So this way it will continue. Finally you are going to what? Find the solutions to each of the sub problem and then combine all the solutions to get the solution to the original problem. So this is the approach that is used here in order to carry out the sorting for the merge sort. So let us do one example here, and later once I show you how this particular merge sort is done with respect to few elements which I have taken here, then I shall try to trace with respect to the pseudocode. How exactly this algorithm works, I shall give you the demo. Basically what happens is, whatever is the given array of elements, that is divided into two parts, first half and second half, and to the first half the merge sort algorithm is recursively called until there is only one element present. Similarly, merge sort is recursively called to the right side of the array until only one element is present. So you can see in the pseudocode, this is the algorithm merge sort. You carry out the operations as long as n greater than 1. Until you reach only one single element, you keep on doing these steps. So what are these steps? I will explain to you. This is the first half of the array and this is the second half of the array. For that, merge sort getting applied to the first half of the array, merge sort getting applied to the second half of the array. Then you have one more function called as merge. Once you keep dividing the array, finally you are going to combine that. So for combining you are using this function merge, and the definition for this merge is written over here. So all these steps I will explain to you. Now let me first show you with numbers how exactly this algorithm works. So now you have the elements 7, 2, 6, 4, 5, 3, 8, 1. Okay, this is an array A. The index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what I'll do is, first I'll explain you only with respect to the elements, then I'll try to map whatever operation I carried out here with respect to the elements with the lines of code that is present in the algorithm. This is your array A. Now this array is divided into two sub arrays, and the first sub array will have elements 7, 2, 6, 4. The second sub array is having 5, 3, 8, 1. L is pointing to the first element here and H is pointing to the last element. So you have to find the mid of this, mid equal to L plus H by 2. L is 0, H is 7, divided by 2 is 3.5. You will take the floor value. So this is the mid element. So the first sub array will have elements from 0 to mid, yes, 0 to mid. Mid is 3 now, so this is the mid element. So it will have from 0 to 3, and the second sub array will have elements from mid plus 1 to n minus 1. Okay, this way you are going to divide the elements into two sub arrays. So in most of the textbooks, L, H and mid are used. So whatever pseudocode I have mentioned here is, it's not making use of L, H or mid variables. Instead you can see copy means you are copying what? the elements from 0 to n divided by 2 minus 1 to another array B. So first half of the elements are copied to an array called B, then the second half of the original array, so n by 2, from n by 2 onwards to n minus 1. The logic remains same. You are using L, H and mid in order to divide the array into two sub-arrays. Here what you are doing is, you are copying the original array elements, that is starting from the first element to the mid element to another array called B. So this is the first sub-array. B is what? The first sub-array. Then from that n by 2 to n minus 1, that is after the mid element, whatever are the elements present till the end is copied into an array C. So we are using here B and C are the arrays, that is the sub arrays. So this will be your B and this will be your C. So once you copy this, we will apply this merge sort to the array B again and again until that array will have only one single element left. So you can see, as long as n greater than 1, you keep calling this function merge sort. So the same function once again we are calling here to the sub array C. First time you are calling the merge sort to the left sub array, that is B, and next you will start calling the merge sort to the right sub array, that is the C. So yes, we have copied the elements from 7 to 4, that is we have copied the elements 0 to n divided by 2 minus 1, okay, into the array B. Then we have copied the elements of n by 2 to n minus 1 from here to here into what? Array C. Now once this is ready, the third line is you are calling the function again. Now this function gets repeatedly called. Now you are applying it to which array? B. So now you have two sub arrays. You will keep calling recursively the merge sort to the array B and array C until only one element is left in the array. So we'll just divide this sub array into two again. So the left array will have 7 and 2 and the right array will have what? 6 and 4. Once again you will divide this into 2, you will have what? 7, and next you will have only one element. At this point the algorithm will stop because you have written the condition as long as n is greater than 1. Now n is equal to 1. And similarly here, let me show you, it gets divided into two sub arrays, each is having one element. Now come to this C array. C array also you can see here merge sort. You are applying the merge sort to this C and it will get divided into what? Two sub arrays, 5 and 3, 8 and 1, and this will be what? Having once again two sub arrays, 5 and 3, 8 and 1. Next step is what you are going to call the function merge. Merge is the function which is defined here. All the steps that are mentioned in the merge I'll explain to you. Let me just show you first with numbers. After merging, exactly this will happen. These two elements will get merged, but the resulting array will have elements in the sorted order. 7 and 2 were the two different elements. Now you are having one array which is having what? The elements in the sorted order. Similarly here, 6 and 4, these are not sorted. 6 is 1, 4 is 1. So now when it is getting combined, when 6 and 4, these two individual elements, when it is getting combined into an array, it will be in the sorted form. So 4 will appear here and 6 will appear here. Similarly here, 3 and 5, okay, these two are getting combined as well as sorted. These two combined and getting sorted. Now these two arrays will get combined and it will be sorted. These two will get combined and it will be in the sorted. 1, 3, 5 and 8. Now finally these two will get combined and it will be in the sorted. The elements are like this now: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Combining logic is here because this is the function merge that is used here. Merging will start from here only. So instead of showing you the explanation for one single element, I will try to apply this merge for these two arrays, okay, B and C. So the merge will start from here only. It is combining what? All these single elements into two elements. It is merging. Then once again two elements are getting merged to 4 here. Then this 4 and 4 is getting merged, and finally you have all the 8 elements in the sorted form. For the explanation purpose, I will take these two arrays. You have to merge these two. Okay, one is B and another is C. So the index values I will write down 0 1 2 3 0 1 2 3. B and C are the input arrays. Output is what? A sorted array A. So this is your sorted array A, which will have the index 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So look here, we are using 3 pointers here, I, J and K. I and J will be pointing to this sub arrays. So I can show you here like this. I is pointing to the first element, okay, of the B array, and J is pointing to the first element of the C array, and the array which is holding what? The sorted elements. For that we are using a pointer called as K. Initially if you look here, each of this is pointing what? I is pointing to 0, J is pointing to 0, K is pointing to 0. Same thing I have shown here, I is pointing to 0, J is pointing to 0 and K is pointing to 0. Now you carry out these steps as long as I is less than P and J is less than Q. Now what is P and Q here? See, we were using N as what? The number of elements in our original array, N equal to 8. Now we have what? Number of elements in the sub arrays will differ, because from here onwards the merging will start. Whatever are the number of elements it is holding, that becomes the values for what? P for the left array and Q for the right array. So now as long as I is less than P and J is less than Q, how many elements are here? 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So P is 4 and Q is 4. In our example at present we have P equal to 4 and Q equal to 4. See, need not be that every example will have equal number of elements in both the subarrays. As long as I less than P and J less than Q, you carry these steps. What are these steps? If B of I less than or equal to C of J. So you have to compare like this. First element in the array B, you compare it with the first element in the array C. So B of I is what? 2. So I'll just write here B of I is what? 2. Is 2 less than 1? False. If it is false, then else part will get executed. In else, what you are writing? You are assigning C of J to A of K. A of K is what? The array is blank now. So now you are trying to tell if B of I is less than or equal to C of J. In this case it is false. If it is false, the else part will get executed. You store C of J into A of K. A of K is here, okay, and C of J is what? 1. Then you have to store C of J is 1. And next is what? Increment the K pointer by 1. Now K will point here. Once again continue, because I is less than P and J is also less than Q. Then once again check whether B of I, and one more thing you see, when you copied the first element from C to the array A, you have to increment the J pointer. So J is pointing here. J is pointing here. Next you continue like this. If B of I is less than C of J, B of I is what? B of I is 2. Whether 2 is less than 3. You are comparing now 2 with 3. Yes, it is true. If it is true, if B of I is less than or equal to, if it is true, then this statement will get executed. In this you are copying what? The array element from the B array to the A array. So your B of I you have to copy now. B of I will be here 2. Okay. Look here, this one. B of I copied into A of K and increment the I pointer by 1. Now I is pointing here. Once you copy this into the array A, increment the K pointer. K is pointing to this location now. Continue. Whether B of I, now B of I is pointing here 4. Whether 4 is less than, current value of J is what? 3. Whether 4 is less than 3, no, it is not less than 3. Then the else part will be. So when else part says that you copy this element into the array, then increment the J pointer. After you copy, increment what? The K pointer. K will be pointing to this location. Once again continue with the while loop. Whether 4 is less than 5. Now you are checking with what? This element 5. Whether 4 is less than 5, yes, it is true. So whenever it is true, if you see here what exactly is happening, whenever it is true, the element from the B array is put in the array A. Whenever it is false, the element from the C array is inserted into the array A. And every time after that operation, the respective pointer is incremented by 1. 4 less than 5, yes, it is true. If it is true, what you are going to do, you will copy this 4 into the, okay, here and increment the I pointer. I is pointing here, and also increment the K pointer. Now K is pointing to this location. I is pointing to 6. 6 less than 5. Whether 6 less than 5? No, false. If it is false, copy this element 5 into this, increment the J pointer, increment the K pointer. Now I is pointing to 6, J is pointing to 8. 6 less than 8. 6 less than 8, if it is true, that means this element 6 will come to this array A, and I will get incremented by 1. K will be what? Pointing to the next location now. Now I is pointing to 7, J is pointing to 8. 7 is less than 8. Yes, it is true. If it is true, copy this 7 here and increment the I pointer. Okay. And next is what? Increment the K pointer. Next time, if you see, there are no more elements in this particular array B. Fine. So that means what we had written in the while loop is while I less than P only. Yes, less than P. P is what here? P is 4. So 3 less than 4. Until that value is less than 4, you keep doing this. Now, if this I becomes 4, 4 less than 4, 4 less than 4, the condition will be what? False. And you are including here a logical AND operation. Even if one of this, okay, becomes false, then these statements will not get executed. So in this case now, first the B array got exhausted, and I value is what now? At present 4. 4 less than 4, the condition became false. But if you look here, there one element left in the C array. Now whatever is the element remaining here, that will be moved into the array A here. In case if C array gets exhausted first, and if any elements remaining in B array, those elements will be copied into the A array. So whichever array gets exhausted first. In this case, first the B array got exhausted. One element of C was remaining and it was moved to A array. In case sometimes what will happen is this C array will get exhausted, elements of B array will be there, so that element will be moved into the array A. Not just one element, sometimes more than one element will also be remaining, so those elements you can now include it into the resulting array. Now whatever logic I said, whatever elements remain in any one of the arrays, you are copying down into the resulting array. That logic is there as a part of the merge function itself. You can see here, if I equal to P, if I equal to P, then copy whatever are the elements in the C array to A array. Else means if I is not equal to P, then copy down all the elements of the remaining elements of the B into the resulting array A. So this is how exactly the merge sort algorithm works here. I have shown you by merging these two arrays B and C. The same thing you can actually start from here. Okay, this will be your B, this will be your C, this will be your resulting array A. Then how the elements are moved, how the comparison is carried out, and then the resulting array is formed. Like this you are going to carry out. Similarly, once again this is one array, this is B and this is C. Then the resulting array becomes now this one. This is B, this is C. The resulting array becomes now this one. What I showed is in the last stage, because there are more number of elements here, then it is easy for you to find out how exactly it works. So this is B and this is C, and the resulting array is this. Okay. So this is how the merge sort algorithm works, and moreover, since in this subject you are going to carry out the analysis part, so we have to see the time complexity of this algorithm. Since this video is becoming quite lengthy, I'll include the analysis part of this merge sort into a different video, the next session, wherein I am going to show you the time complexity, how to arrive at the time complexity of this algorithm. Hope you find this session useful. If you find it useful, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye and take care.